Greetings, I am Tyrant.
And I am Nate, and today we are talking about the Urami, if that's how it's pronounced. It's an Indian weapon, but you might know it from Demon Slayer.
Yes, this is Mitsuri's whip sword from the Demon Slayer anime that we're going to be giving a little bit of our thoughts on, trying to test it a little bit. Now this is made of steel. I do want to make that clear right off the bat. This is made of steel, and this can cut you. Now, it's not a sharp edge,
no,
but for the most, think of it like a paper cut, but with steel instead.
So we have got safety precautions for this. We're obviously wearing full cloth, thicker cloth. We've got things for our necks. As you can see, we're going to be wearing safety glasses and gloves, but this, as Tyrant said, isn't super sharp, so
it should be all right. Now, we've also got a katana here because obviously it's supposed to be a katana that's like a whip, like mixing the Indian and Japanese, I guess, together. Then we also have a normal whip. So we have the two things that this is supposed to be. So we can give them all kind of a test and then test this thing. Now, I think it might be a little bit long, if I'm being honest with you. Well,
I mean, it kind of depends, because in animes, as you well know, weapons will be as long as they actually need to be for the animation. So you might get the thing 30 foot long during an animation, but
that's very true, very true.
It is a little unwieldy just carrying it down here to this part of the set, so we might trim it as we go along.
But
we'll see how we go.
We might just cut little bits of length off till we get to a point where we think it's the most practical. I feel like that's the best way to describe it.
Shiv?
No. But why don't we start off with something like, we'll start with Boromir. Just what we can do with it, how it feels in the hand. We'll do that with the other weapons as well. Then we might try and move on to something like maybe some water bottles, some softer targets. Maybe we can get a few cuts with it, and hopefully not ourselves that are getting cut. And then I think we can finish out with maybe trimming it down. We'll see how we feel as we go along. Let's go to Boromir and see what we can do. I call the whip.
So before you two get started testing this weapon out, we do need a caveat that, of course, this isn't a 100% valid one-to-one example.
Yes, it's more the concept itself.
Yeah, the real one would be heavier, sharper, and we know the one that we have is a bit floppy. It's really just kind of a proof of concept, and of course, it's for fun. So if it works or doesn't work, we're not saying that,
it's not the easiest to get a whip sword in these parts.
It's a bit difficult. So we kind of made what we could with the resources available. And what I'm interested very much to see if you guys can actually manage to hit a target consistently out of this thing.
Well, Nate has the best aim of the three of us, so I'm sure he'll have no problem doing that.
All right, Nate, it's on you, baby.
The Tyrant is called the whip. Okay, fair enough. He is a little better with the whip, but I am going to start with the sword. We know what's going to happen. But for the sake of doing it, let's hit Boromir with the sword a couple of times. I feel like if I just chop at his head, I'm going to go through it. I think it's a sword. I'm pretty sure we know that this is... Your turn, Tyrant!
Those were some nice slashes. So Nate's sword may be very sharp, and it did a lot of damage, but a whip has more uses than just offensive, you know? It can be used for other activities, other things, you know? Anyway, let's get started. Let's get into it. All right, so now it's time for the whip sword. We've done the whip, we've done the sword. Let's see how this amalgamation goes. Now,
Abomination.
Good,
the real ones are good.
Yes, this one is kind of a
Abomination.
DIY version. So I'll give it a go first. I'll just see what I can do with it. And then you can have a go. And hopefully we don't cut ourselves.
You know something I'm noticing? With all the videos and tests we're doing, especially in this one, Boromir is looking worse and worse. So it's time to try and fix him up a little bit and do some repairing. And in actual fact, we filmed the process to see if we can try and resurrect the poor guy. If you want to see us, give Boromir some TLC, well, we have a dedicated exclusive video for our supporters. So all you have to do is support us here on channel memberships in YouTube or on Patreon, Subscribestar or Player, and you'll get access to that exclusive video. And Boromir, he needs some love. And so, you could share your love for how much of a trooper Boromir is. He's such a good sport. He takes one for the team in so many videos, and you can show your support by becoming a supporter, and then you get that exclusive video. So that is channel memberships, Patreon, Subscribestar, or Utreon, and genuinely, thank you to everyone who is supporting us. It's only thanks to you we can even approach to be sustainable, but because ad revenue is still going down, well, we need your support now more than ever, continuing going forward. So thank you to everyone who is, and if you want to help us continue to make the content, please become a supporter. $1 to $5 a month, and you get these exclusive videos as well. Cheers.
Alrighty, let's see how this goes. That was a bit disappointing.
Hey!
Nope. I mean, it might give you a paper cut.
I feel like I gotta get my range right. Like, you know, about.
Right, the enemy will just wait for you.
No, it's about 10 foot. Look, it's practice. I want to make sure I'm about 10 foot. I feel like for some reason that this weapon is perfectly ranged for that. Oh, God. Oh, wow. Oh, I don't like this.
Hold on.
This is horrible.
What do you think? Should we shorten it? Do you reckon we should shorten it now? Just by a bit?
Okay, give me a tip.
All right, I do feel that I'm able to actually keep some tension on the entire thing, just like that, which is good. Now let's see if that translates into more power hitting Boromir.
Nope.
No, it felt like it did. That feels like it's hitting harder. Yeah.
Okay, so a weapon that you have to reset back here
Yes, you do have to
every
reset
time.
it.
That sounds horrible. Yeah. The actual way that the traditional Indian weapon is used is in circles. So I'll see if I can get that going. Also, for some reason, they carry a shield. I couldn't think of why. Oh, God. This feels uncoordinated, like I'm a 5-year-old with a streamer. I win.
You broke it.
I fixed it.
You still broke it.
Well, look.
In the middle of a video.
The Uromi, please correct me on my pronunciation, is made of real, proper bladed steel. This is a Home Depot job so that we could explain a thing for an anime.
How often do you break things?
7.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for fixing it.
Yay.
It's also been shortened a touch,
has.
so
A little more manageable.
Yeah, so hopefully it's a little bit more manageable, and we're able to maybe get some cuts with it. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. Genuinely, not to cut through a water bottle, but to like pop one or something.
Oh, maybe to pop one. Like, it's just the amount of force that you can actually get. Once you leave the handle, there is no force.
I just reckon one of these edges is sharp enough, maybe.
Unless you can wrap it around and pull, and it happens to slice before it pulls the whole water bottle off.
We'll have slow-mo, and we'll just see what happens.
Let's start with the sword so that we can at least get a baseline.
All right, since we're doing an anime episode, I've got a katana here, and I will do a katana-style draw cut, because I like cutting things, so let's give it a go. So let's try the sword whip now. Let's see if we're able to actually penetrate a bottle. That sounded a bit weird, but anyway.
I don't think this has enough blade tensile dysfunction.
You're having performance
yeah.
anxiety.
No, good luck. You're tickling it. You tickled it harder. What's the worst that's going to happen?
Nate with an articulated weapon
break?
and aim. This is going to be good. Go for it.
Just because he makes a point doesn't mean it's nice. I did it again.
You broke the weapon again.
I fix it again. It's at least getting to a more manageable length.
Yes,
now
but we have to compensate for the range though. The more that we're losing length means the closer we need to get to target. Yes.
that we have to compensate for.
Yes. Why don't we try
Pool noodle.
a softer target?
Yeah, pool noodle slice might see better. You get the idea.
What he said.
Flap. Stop. Times.
Yeah. Oh, we got a cut.
You broke it. Yeah, I know, but you broke it.
But we got a cut. Look, come and look, guys. Come and look at our cut. My cut, because I did it. Skill. Look at that. After all of that, we got some damage, huh?
There might be a reason why, with the real weapon, they train with it for years and years. Can I have a sword?
Well, let's just show them very quickly. I'm going to cap it very quick. All right, so after all of that, we got this. We got this.
Give me a second. Who's the better cutter out of you and I?
Me.
Right, so pass me this, because it makes more sense that if he's the better cutter, I'll just do like weak as anything cut, and all right, that one was very teary, but that was no energy. And it's like it's designed to do it.
You know what? That looked fun, and I'm sick of that terrible thing. Let's cut some stuff real quick.
I want to do water bottles.
Montage time.
All right, hang on. One more try for the thing, just to see if we can, just to see how easy. Like upwards. All right.
Okay, well, that was interesting. Yeah. I have a couple of observations, all right? It's a kind of proof of concept. You were able to hit a target. The big issue for me was edge alignment. You have no control over that.
Yes, that is true.
Something that you could do, right? And I think this could possibly be effective. If you're able to hit a target, right, get it wrapped or half around or even resting on something and then pulling it, you could do some slicing damage potentially with it. This isn't going to chop off a limb, even a heavier version, I feel, but you could cut someone up.
Yeah, like I suppose you could rename it a flail, but I mean, I've got some additional thoughts as well. No.
All right, let's go do them.
All right, you guys share your final thoughts, and I'm going to try not to throw up. Think of it, it's a flail. Ugh.
I hate it.
I'd like to add a caveat, because the real Arumi is made of proper steel, and there is training exercise to use it in circular motions with a shield, and there's multiple blades. It's hard to keep track of. Probably a very effective weapon, but this anime version that we made...
You're right. The caveat is, the one that we made, I hate it.
Right.
Like, genuinely though, like, we don't really like articulated stuff.
For reasons.
And if you're going to make a sword out of that, why not just make a normal sword? Or use a whip instead? Like... Why are we combining things?
Speaking of whips, now we were talking about whip weapons today. I just want to talk about how impressive of a shot this is, because you thought you... Oh, look at the smug.
I felt like I got that.
Oh, so that first hit, continue on, my ego must inflate more. Right. Now, you thought you cut this. On further inspection, you didn't cut it. What you did was create a pressure crack on the back, and on study there is a mark here where it's actually been hit, and the pressure crack lines up with the seam of the bottle.
It's the first time I popped a bottle with
You vaporized the water inside it. That's what he did. He gave this enough pressure that way to vaporize the water and pop the outside of the bottle, but not enough to actually explode it, just enough to make the crack. So the next time it fell down, it's kind of an impressive balance.
Anyway, back to swords and whips.
Oh yeah, that's true.
This particular whip sword here from the Demon Slayer anime, it is very, like, the way they use it in the anime is really cool, but like, it's not realistic. I don't think.
Is it used in big circle attacks and everything?
But it's also, like you mentioned right at the very start, it also varies in length depending on which scene you're in, because it's an anime and it's whatever the animators decide for
that length.
Yeah.
Does it vary to that length?
No, it does not.
Yeah. But I have to agree. I think that something like this, let's do the rating. We haven't done the rating in a while. Let's do the rating.
All right, let's do the rating.
Let's do the rating. This, 1. 1.
3.
Really?
Yeah. Because
No.
like if it was made out of proper steel and
okay.
it had a sharpened edge,
Okay.
like a 3 or 4.
I can see where you're going there. 1.
Okay.
1.
Great.
I do not like this. I feel like
For this particular one that we made, yes, 1, 0.
No.
Trash. For a proper made version, like a 3, because there were some solid hits you could get on it, and if
That's
that was
true.
actually sharpened, and if it had proper steel,
And the wrapping that you could do, like we tried this with the whip, the wrapping that you can do around someone like Boromir or a real opponent, and then pull, you've got that slicing action. All right, 2.
all right.
2.
That's going to be all for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment down below how wrong we got everything. But just a fun episode today, a little bit of anime stuff. Yeah.
And in fact, speaking of fun anime stuff, remember that other fun anime video that we did?
We did another Demon Slayer video, which will be right here, where we throw katanas. And it's pretty fun. I think, did I win that day? I think I won that day.
It doesn't matter, I'm going to try the whip. You might have won, probably
I
not.
think I won that.
No, probably not.
Not sure.